So, if you could choose to have the belief or not, and the choice is not, then it is a flawed belief and must be reprogrammed. If you could choose to have the belief or not, and the choice is not, then it is. Then it is a flawed belief and must be reprogrammed. What does that mean? In life, there's beliefs that you hold, and those beliefs cause and create an identity, and that identity causes specific behaviors and actions. Now, in life, a lot of our actions can be tied back to our beliefs. And this is completely off the top. I just wrote this download down. I was like, hey, let's just do a video. So excuse me if there's pauses and moments of silence, because it's all coming to me. But in life, our actions reflect our beliefs. And you have to ask yourself sometimes, what belief do I have in order to make me act this way? Right? So when you're reflecting and you're analyzing your behaviors, your actions, the things in your life, you can ask yourself, well, what beliefs are at the root of that action, that behavior, or that habit? Now, here's where it gets deep. When you ask yourself that, what the quote that I just came up with says, if you could choose to have the belief or not, and the choice is not, then it is a flawed belief and must be reprogrammed. Let me take a step back. So, the ages from 0 to 7 is when human beings are most programmed, right? This is when our subconscious mind is most susceptible. So a lot of our beliefs are programmed at a very, very early age, and through life, through the people around us, our parents, our family, television, entertainment, school, all of these different things program us in a certain way and create these beliefs. And it becomes a part of who we are. And it causes us to act in a certain way. It causes a certain identity, behavior, and actions, which then creates our results in life ultimately. So it's important that you sit down and analyze, your beliefs, right? Back to the quote. If you could choose to have the belief or not, and the choice is not, then it is a flawed belief and must be reprogrammed. So when you analyze the belief and you ask yourself, the behavior, the action, the habit, what do I believe? If you decide that life would be better, you would enjoy life, you would be more successful if you did not have that belief, then it is a flawed belief because it is not in alignment with your highest version of yourself. And then it must be reprogrammed. Right? So, there's thoughts, there's beliefs that we have, and if it is not in alignment with the highest version of yourself, like the version of yourself that is the most grateful, the version of yourself that's the most loving, that has character, that has integrity, that's disciplined, that is consistent, that succeeds in all areas of life, then You must reprogram that belief, right? You must reprogram that thought. And the gateway to consciousness is awareness. So you must sit with yourself and be aware enough to have this conversation and say, this thought, this belief, if I could choose not to have this thought and belief, and it would make me more successful, it would make me more great, I would be a better version of myself, then it's my duty and obligation to reprogram that thought and belief. Peace and abundance, y'all. Much love.